Welcome back, guys. This is Building a Million one day at a time. So today we're going to be talking about how to find your first real estate deal. Now I know everybody's talking about these housing bubbles and how the housing market's going to crash, and it may come down. More than likely, it is coming down. And is that okay? Is that not okay? Well, let me get into it a little bit. So if you look at 2008, when the housing market crashed up to 65%, that was devastating for most people. Now, do I think that's what's happening today? Now we have high inflation, we have extreme debt nationwide, really high housing market, we have high interest rates. So what does that mean for the housing market? Now, I talked a little bit about it in my last video about how with interest rates going up, I've been seeing a lot of Zillow notifications daily of new listings coming on the market and a lot of price reductions to try to keep demand in purchasing. Now, I do have a real estate buddy that I talk to quite often, and he said that June has been one of the best months so far. He's on pace to hit the same numbers. He'd sold 8 in the first 15 days of June. So the market is still moving, but what we are seeing is the lower homes, prices anywhere from 250 to 350, maybe even 400, aren't moving as much. And that's where you get the middle class, right? We get that middle class that they want to buy houses in that 250 to 400 range. That's where they can qualify. But now that interest rates are upwards to 6%, people are like saying, okay, I can't afford to buy a $400,000 house, which was 30%, 37% lower 2 years ago, especially when interest rates are at 6%. I would be buying at 3% interest rates, but at 6%, I just can't afford it. And that because it's adding $300 to $500 a month to your mortgage. Okay. Now, does that mean nobody's buying? No, people are still buying that 400 plus, upwards to $600,000, $700,000 homes are still moving because those people are coming in still with high income. They're coming in with a lot more money down, and they're getting small loans versus big loans compared to what the middle class would be getting on a $400,000 home. So because of that, those higher end houses are still moving. We're seeing the lower end homes kind of stagnate a little bit, and prices are starting to come down on them. Now, I've heard multiple different things. I've heard the market's going to crash. The housing market's going to come down drastically. I've heard it's going to slightly reduce, and then it's going to rally even higher. I even watched Dave Ramsey's video that he recently put out about that the housing market's just going to keep going and going and going for the next 5 years. Now, that kind of shocked me, knowing Dave Ramsey to be conservative. He's saying buy right now because the prices are going to keep going up. And if that's really the case, then yeah, it's still good to buy. But again, with interest rates as high as they are, which is higher than we've seen in a while, but lower than it's been in past decades. We've had as high as 20% interest back in the late 70s, early 80s. So overall, I think that if you want to buy, 1, you can afford it, 2, you can qualify, and 3, you find a house that you want, it's going to be better off to buy even now versus rent if you can afford to buy. Now, I'm going to put some numbers up here on the screen. You've got rents that have been highest of all time. I just rented a 2-bedroom, 2-bath for $1,300 a month, which if I look back to when I first bought my first house, which was a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom, I was renting it for $595. So rents have over doubled since my first home. But with that, if you can buy, why not? So this is what I do when I'm looking to first buy a home. I'll pull up the mortgage calculator on Google, and I'll type in my income to see what I can afford and what I'm looking at getting for a loan. Now, if that loan happens to be the same, equivalent, or less than what I'm paying for rent, then yeah, it makes sense to buy. And I think that's going to still be the case for a little while. Now, there's going to be a ton of you out there that are saying, hey, I don't have enough money saved, which is understandable when over 40% of all Americans don't have enough saved for a $400 emergency bill. I don't have the credit score that I need to get a loan. I don't have the income right now because I'm worried about getting laid off. You're hearing about all these layoffs, or my income level is not high enough, so I have to rent. Understandable. And those are the things why I say in my other videos, save more money so you can be able to put a good down payment down, and invest so you have money set aside for retirement or to be able to pull out to put more into your house. So if you're not there yet, that's okay. Keep on saving, keep on preparing. This video is just here to help you prepare for that. Okay, so we look at the mortgage calculator. Let's say we're making between $60,000 and $80,000 a year. What can we qualify for? How much money do we have down to put in? And then after that, what is that actual amount that we can purchase, right? So now we've got a figure. So what I would do is first I would go and talk to either a bank, your local bank, or I would talk to a mortgage lender and see what you can actually qualify for and get a pre-approval. So go in, you're gonna have to give them your tax information, give them your pay stubs, your social security so they can run a credit check or credit score on it. And then they're gonna say, hey, this is what we feel like we are okay giving you to buy a home with this much down. And once you get that pre-approval letter, you can actually start going and applying and putting in offers on homes. So then you're going to jump over to Zillow. I just use Zillow because I think it's easy, but you can use your specific realtor site, ERA, Remax, Stratum, whatever you want, EXP, nationwide. So but I just go to Zillow and I type in maybe 25 to 45,000 above what I was pre-approved for. And that's where I feel like maybe if I find a house that I really like, I can probably negotiate it down, especially right now with we still have low inventory, but we have higher inventory than we've had in the last year. And people reducing prices, they're nervous to sell their homes too. So if you're wanting to buy a home, you can negotiate and it's not like it was a year ago where you're getting offers $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 above asking price. Now people are saying, hey, I'm just getting an offer, so maybe I'll take it if these guys are qualified and ready to go. So look at that range, say our range is 250 to 400. I'd put it up to like 450 and just try to find something where I want to live in a reasonable price, and I'll start doing some homework on those. Now, I'm going to pull up a home on Zillow right here, and I'm just going to kind of scroll through and explain what we're looking at. So first we get all the information, size of the house, year it was built, how much they're asking, stuff like that. And you've got like their description and then your pictures of the home. And that's great. However, I want to scroll down and see the history of this home. So I'm going to scroll down, and this is why I like Zillow, because other realtors don't give you this information. They don't want you to know the information because that's their job, and they want to be able to kind of work with you, whereas you really can do it on your own. So I scroll down, I look for price reductions in the past, what it's sold for in the past, why, how often it's been sold, what they've done to renovate it, if anything. You can go down and see what property taxes are on the place, so you can kind of factor that into your loan process. This is going to give you information to be able to say, okay, I want this house, or maybe I'll go look at a different house. Okay, so I'd say find 4 or 5 homes that you like in an area you like and that you want to go see. Then that's when I give my realtor a call and say, hey, I've got these homes that I'd like to go see. When can I get in to see them? And they're going to do their side. They're going to set up the showings. You'll go and walk through the home. Maybe write up some things that you want in a specific home. So when you get there to look and walk through it, you can say, hey, this one doesn't have this needs this, whatever. And so then out of those 4 or 5 homes, you can make a realistic decision on which home you would like to purchase. Then once you've got to that point, then you can make your offer. And again, because of where the market's at right now, I would make a little bit of a lower offer. So say they were asking $325 for the home, I'd start out at $299, and that's what I'd put my offer in at, and just wait to see what it comes back at. Now, I'm not going to get into the whole part of the purchase, but that's kind of what I do to look for a home if I'm ready to buy. There's tons of homes out there. Again, I'm getting notifications every day of new homes popping up. So if you're looking to buy a home, hopefully this helped a little bit. If you're just questioning how to do that, hopefully this helped. Again, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, make sure you do that down below. Give us a thumbs up if you liked the video and you made it through all the way. I appreciate your time and your patronage. This is Building a Million, one day at a time. We'll catch you next time.